All right, so it is July 24th, exactly 1 month on my birthday. We are here tonight resuming our board of director meetings. It is now 6:48. And I'm going to ask if someone can lead us in prayer. This is Rosie McCameron. I will be the hostess with the mostest tonight. If someone can lead us in prayer.
Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and this hour and this time together, oh God, as a group, as a business, oh God, nonprofit. Lord, we thank you for each and every one that is on the call tonight, praying for those who weren't able to make it and those who may be on their way. We thank you for time left to reflect and just be with our families. But now we're coming back together, oh God, to just jump started on new things, oh God, that you have planned for us, oh God. We're excited about the up and coming trip, oh God, that's going to be impacting our youth, oh God, and helping them to reach higher heights, Lord, and to meet and greet and just learn about business and entrepreneurship, those things that you have placed on our leaders' heart to want to do for our youth. We pray for her, oh God, as she is venturing into entrepreneurship, oh God, that you will lead her and guide her, oh God, give her balance. We pray that you will strengthen her and keep her, oh God, that you will just give her the direction that she needs and the discernment that she needs to keep moving forward with the ideas and things that you have in store for this nonprofit. God, we pray for each and every one on the call that you will continue to keep and cover them, oh God, that you will strengthen each and every one of us, oh God. Give us wisdom and knowledge and direction in this group, oh God, and help us to just be on one accord, continue to stay the course, Lord. Help us to continue to keep an open mind and just be able to fellowship together in love, Lord, and just help each other, Lord. If we have anything that we can help each other with, oh God, we pray that we will be open to that, God. We pray for all the things that you have coming, have to come, Lord. We thank you for those things. We thank you for the blessings that you've already given us and that you have already in store for us, oh God. And we just pray that we will stay humble in these beginnings, oh God, and that you'll continue to keep us and direct us in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that. Amen. Thank you so much for the beautiful prayer. I'm not sure if everyone got a chance to look at the meeting minutes from our last meeting, which was back in June. Obviously, there's a lot that's happened since that last meeting. I think the last meeting was right before, right before the virtual networking event, the part 2 of our series. So hopefully everybody got a chance to look at those meeting minutes. I know that the last meeting we canceled just due to so much that was going on, a lot of traveling, a lot of, just scheduling conflicts and stuff. And so here we are on the 24th, sort of kind of resuming, our meetings and just touching base on a lot of stuff that we have sort of missed over the past month or so. So here we are tonight. I don't know, was everybody able to review the meeting minutes from I believe it was the 11th of June or whatever that Monday was, right before the event. I think it was the 10th. It may have been the 10th. I think our event was on the 13th or the 12th. I don't remember. But anyway, the last June meeting we had, was everybody able to review, or do you need time so we can at least approve the meeting minutes and move forward?
Sorry, no, I didn't get a chance to review them.
Yeah, I can't say that I did.
Okay, so if we can just, if you get a chance to, please try to review them. just so that we're not doubling up, because this will be the next set of meeting minutes. And I don't want to, like, have to keep pushing it off if we weren't, especially because we have these next set of meeting minutes. So we'll have to review these before the next meeting anyway. So if you guys could just, just peruse through them, make sure everything looks good. Obviously you were there, so a lot of it you'll recall anyway. It's just a recap, and we just want to make sure that we can approve it and move forward. So we'll table that for now. For Donna, we'll approve the meeting minutes, or make any kind of comments that we need to make for the previous meeting minutes during our next call. All right, so we are in the celebratory announcements. So a lot to be grateful for, a lot to be, to celebrate. We're at the final countdown for a much anticipated summer internship, our very first. I feel like this is the year of first for much, so for many things with us in S.O.A.R. This year has been the year of a lot of firsts. And so good, bad, indifferent, but it's the year for a lot of firsts, but mostly good. And so, obviously our H&T, that this is our second year putting that on. So I really, really wanted to get, Chastity, and I'm glad Chastity is on, so you can kind of talk about, what you think so far. We'll talk about that. But right now, we're just, congratulating our team for, starting the H&T strong, for the second year in a row. We've been able to, set things off right. And, that's kudos to Chastity, to Andre, to Tiana, to everybody who had a part in making sure everything, went smoothly during the planning process. So kudos to you guys for jump starting us off with the second year of our hospitality and travel series. And we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. But so then we want to, congratulate S.O.A.R, our first successful summer HBCU college tour. A special thanks, obviously, to JR's friend, or our sponsor, who covered the entire trip plus, right? So, what was left over, we're gonna, we'll make sure we'll put to good use. We ordered t-shirts, we ordered, our S.O.A.R swag, the t-shirts that I ordered prior to the ones that I sent you guys the pictures that I sent you guys. I actually ordered those just in case, and I ended up getting those, and I paid for those, but I ended up getting those right away. So those are the ones that I gave out to the scholars. So I ordered 50 t-shirts just so we have those on stock, just so, for the kids who are going on this internship, just so we can have some S.O.A.R swag. But anyway, kudos, for us being able to have a very, very successful. I thought it was successful. I got, rave reviews from the parents, from the scholars, and these kids, I'm going to be honest, if they did not enjoy it, they will tell you. As one already did, when he participated in the HBCU tour with another group, same school, but he went with another group, and he was not happy at all. And so this was his second time going on this trip with us. First time with us, but second time going to this particular school. And his mom, she was just raving about his experience and how much he talked about, how much he enjoyed himself, and how excited he was about the next one. And actually, we already have a couple of the scholars who aren't a part of S.O.A.R, who participated, and now they are also going to be participating in the fall series, in the fall tour as well. So that's exciting. And then obviously, man, kudos for our first international internship to Jamaica, happening this Friday. Super dope, super excited, super stoked. Just, so many emotions about that. So I'm just so grateful to God, for allowing us this opportunity to be able to do what we're doing. And You know, I'm so grateful. So let me, I don't know that we'll cover that, but yeah, we will. We're going to talk about that. But as far as the HBCU tour, because I don't think I have that on the schedule to talk about later on, just because we have so much to talk about with the internship. But does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or otherwise about the tour?
I would just echo that it was a great experience, I believe. You know, and even down to the tour guide, he was very well versed in his, and he showed it, you know, well educated young man, and you know, with aspiring goals himself, and a powerful testimony to go along with why he was there. So yeah, it was great. Despite the drive was long, because it was like 2.5 hours, but it wasn't, you didn't even really pay attention to it. So we had a good time.
I ain't that long.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know, but they were
this season.
They were knocked out going and coming, little suckers.
What time did y'all leave?
You know,
like
to head back home. I mean,
about
4?
No, we had to be back by 4.
So it was like 2:30 then.
We
like
left around 2:30. Yeah, we did good on timing. We left around 2:30 coming back. We stopped, got lunch, and they didn't want to stop and sit down. They just wanted to, eat on the go or whatever. So that worked out for me, because I had to be back in time to get LJ. And then we would have made it we would have made it out decently. It stormed like for the first, like when we pulled into the borough lot, and that's where we met up with the rest of the kids, and it poured for like a good 15 minutes, like poured.
Yeah, last week was crazy with that. Yeah.
It poured, and it only poured for like 15-20 minutes. By the time we got on the road, it was, we were good.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful weather in PA too. It was hot actually, but it never rained or anything. And then we actually ran behind because of Malachi, waiting on him. So note to self for this internship, Malachi will be here a half hour in advance. We are not messing around playing with him. So, but yeah, overall,
it's good to see, as another goal for S.O.A.R to, host a college tour. So definitely excited to see that come to life, and looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, the next one, some of you guys will get a chance to go with us, right? Because we don't want to leave it on the same people every single time. To do these, for these outings, like we definitely want to kind of expand everybody's reach at some point or another, so we can all kind of participate and just get that experience. So hopefully for the fall, we have a different set of leaders, or at least, an additional leaders, if not a different set, who can roll with us. I think we're going to have a larger number in the fall. We actually already have a larger number for the fall. It's going to be all of those who participated in this series, or for this series, but for this tour, all of them want to come back, and that was 9 of them. And that's not including all the ones who just signed up for the fall series, for the fall tour.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely need more hands on deck for that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, and everybody knows in advance. So whatever we can do to try to make our schedules work out for that.
Same school or different school?
No, we're going to Delaware State this time.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's actually the same. It's probably like the same route, because we drove through Delaware and saw signs for Delaware State. So it's probably about around the same distance as the PA trip. But again, like Tiana said, you couldn't even tell. Like it didn't seem that long, especially coming back. Like it wasn't bad at all. But it didn't seem long. Just we were talking. We had great company. The kids, we had games with them in the vehicle, and it was great. It really, really was. And they were a very respectful group. Tiana and I made sure we set the standards. Made sure we let them know. Like most of y'all already know us, and for those of you who don't, which it was really only like one young lady who didn't know. The other young lady who went, it's a friend of mine from one of the other groups that I'm a part of, the Women on the Move. It was one of their daughters. So I know her from that organization. So, so for the most part, everybody knows us. They already know how we roll. So it really was like they all, even my daughter, Lanaya really enjoyed herself, though after a while, I don't want to walk anymore. Can I get on your back? But other than that, it was a good experience. So, definitely for her to be 7, and be able to go to a HBCU, and I had already talked to her about it and just explained to her what it was and what the difference was and how, we should be proud of, of those types of organizations and universities and institutions or whatever. So she was really just like, oh, wow, I'm going to an HBCU. And then she's going, of course, she goes back to her summer camp. And I went to an HBCU college, not just any university. So she made sure.
Of course, the adults got it, but the kids are like, okay.
Right. Like, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, it was great.
I'm glad the scholars got a chance to have that experience, because I know it wasn't until I was on a college tour that college actually felt like something I would be able to do. And so it's that experience, and it's sitting there and speaking to people who are actually working there, who actually go there, and them saying, we want you here, like, welcome. And that's a big part. When you get the brochures, it's cool, but when you get the actual person to say, hi, we would love for you to join us here, it's like a whole different feel. So I'm so glad they got that experience. I was going to ask, did they have questions? Because I know when I went on my college tour, that was a requirement. We all had to have at least 3 questions we were going to ask when they said, does anyone have any questions for us?
So we didn't have anything written in stone, but we did have the conversation beforehand, like ask as many questions as ask questions. Like, do not come here and make us look crazy.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Even for the next one, if they can just come in and just have your questions ready, even if it's HBCU is a little different. When you visit the other schools, it's like, okay, so what is your percentage of people of color that attend here? What are some of the scholarships that you have here? Have them ready. So they'll be like, any questions for us?
Yeah, but they came, honey, with a slew of them too. And
good.
Yeah, they came with a slew. All of them had questions. And this young man, Tatiana, our tour guide, he was phenomenal. Like, he answered, how some people are like, you know what? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't really know the answer to that, but I'll get back to you. He knew every, and if he didn't know, it was because it was like extra stuff that really, what I'm saying? It was like, well, I don't know, too much about that, but I do know overall that, what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, it was more of not a niche thing or like a micro thing, but it was like something on a smaller level, but that was a part of like a larger, let's say, like the business program. Like, they asked about certain things about a business program, or like an extracurricular, or what else? They was asking certain questions that really, got into like the nitty gritty of certain things. And he was like, you know what? I don't know that, but I'll tell you that the program overall offers A, B, and C. And so if, you may want to, and, he even told them, he said, listen, if it's not here, then create it. Like, he literally was like, if if you don't see what you're looking for, then create it. And I love that. I was like, yes.
Yeah, he was good. He really was.
Yeah. And Naomi, I want to hear from you, because I know, that's your peer group. So what do you think? Is she there, T?
Yeah, she's there. Hold on a second.
Okay. I see you on the line, but
that's also something, if they do decide to apply to that school, it's something they can put in their personal essay that they've been there. And that's a part of why they want to go to that school. Helps them to stand out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, he talked about all the different benefits too. Awesome. Yeah, like the financial benefits and all the different ways they can save money and all the different scholarships and grants that are out there, especially for people of color. Yeah, so he, he definitely touched on, oh my goodness, a lot.
Yeah, he did. He was very knowledgeable of his school, and he you could tell he was, proud to be part of the
Right.
meeting.
And he was doing exactly what you said, Chaz. He was like, because this is where y'all gonna be. Like, so we're leaving room for you. And this is, so when we see you next year, like he
Yeah.
was literally including them in everything. That's not true.
Yes.
And I love it. I was like, yes. Like he's talking to them like they've already applied.
Yep. Already accepted everything.
So yeah, there was that. Is Naomi available or no? If she's not, it's okay. I just, I
Yeah,
really wanted
she's
to.
here.
I am
Okay.
sorry.
It's okay. Don't be trying to play hooky on our meetings, girl. All right. So we were just talking about the college tour, and I wanted to get your take and your feedback. Because that's one thing we didn't do. I didn't do like a feedback or anything like that. I got a lot of it hearsay from the parents and from from the scholars verbally, but I didn't really do a survey. So I consider doing that for the next one.
I personally like the campus, the way it looks. I like that there's a lot of inclusive things going on, including things that are building up, like that gun violence organization that he was talking about that they had just brought up in the school. I feel like it's definitely a school where a lot of opportunity is built on its own. A lot of the students are very involved with each other, so you definitely wouldn't feel alone. Like you were bringing up about the tour guide, he was definitely very knowledgeable, and he was very welcoming too. So and despite him being in one major, he knew about a lot of the different majors. So it was a really great experience going there.
Yeah, I agree, Nana. He actually is a double major. So he's double majoring in accounting and business management. So
I think, yeah.
he was a double major.
Finance.
Yeah, accounting and finance, and then business management. So yeah, but it's okay, man. Yeah, but thank you, Naomi. I appreciate that, and again, we agree with all that's been said. Toya, did you have anything? I don't want to. All right, so we're gonna move on.
I'm sorry. You
Go ahead.
you said if I had anything.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to add anything.
Well, you debriefed me everything you shared when we were talking personally, and yeah, I mean, it sounds like this young man definitely had a lot to say, and I'm sure it was inspiring for the kids to see a future peer, a peer actually giving his firsthand experience. Kids those age tend to believe their peers a little bit more than they believe adults in some respects. So I mean, even what you shared about his ode to his father and his gun reform work, it really seems like it's not just a school for him. It's actually a part of his destiny and kind of fulfilling his own life goals. And I think that's the power of college that makes it a little bit different than high school, because you really start to think about your life at that point and what you want to commit to. So, choosing the right college is I would say probably the first big choice that a young adult or adolescent makes. So I'm sure it sounds like it was very inspiring for them to see him do that, and his background and his family and how it all integrated together with where he decided to go to school. So very inspiring. I'm glad it was successful. I see those other applications coming through for the fall. So seems like word of mouth is getting around.
Yeah, right. And that's a great point you bring up. Not that I forgot, but so what Toya is referring to for the young guy, and actually Naomi brought it up, the gun violence. It's a program. I think it's called the Yellow Paw, because I think their mascot is, what's their mascot? A lion or something like that. But he co-founded a gun awareness or gun prevention organization on the campus. And again, to his point of creating what you don't see enough of, going out there and creating it. But his dad was also an alum of the college, and his dad was, a huge advocate for, stricter gun laws, and just totally against, obviously, as we all are, against gun violence. And he was, very prominent in what he did. He protested, he did a lot, and unfortunately, he ended up succumbing to gun violence. Uh, so that kind of hit home, and it really resonated, I think, with everybody, because it was like, dang, like your dad was a graduate from the school, like he, you know what I'm saying? He fought for the very same thing, that, took his life. You know what I mean? Or rather, he fought against the very same thing that took his life. And so, his son, and to pay homage to his father, and to his grandmother, because when the father passed away, I guess, I don't know if the grandmother took over raising him. I didn't hear that part, but I believe that grandmother had some influence, and he made a promise to her before she passed away that he was going to continue in his father's legacy. And he hadn't planned on going to college. And after this happened, he enrolled, and now he's a junior. So, it just goes to show, just how life happens, and how things can really change what you think, your future is going to look like, and how God can change the course of, your direction, you know what I'm saying, and which way you end up, the road you end up traveling. And, so it was great to see how much he's excelling in everything that he's doing. And he wants to be a multipreneur, and just doing, have his hands in everything. So it's just, it was great. It really was. But that's it. So I wanted to talk about the fall and winter meeting schedule, right? Because that's where we're kind of headed to. Like we're almost done with July. What the heck? So we'll have to, I guess when Dre gets back, we can resume for now, like the every other Mondays like we've been doing, and then, I guess at some point just figure out who would like to be the host for each, like how we did with the first half of the year. We'll do the same with the second half of the year, and close out. Obviously, our last meeting will be, I guess, either right before or right after the gala, and then we'll take our winter break through like the second or third week of January and resume then. So, we could just start thinking about that as far as like the hosting. That'll be great. All right. So H&T Summer Series. Chaz, take it away. I want to know thoughts, comments, concerns, feedback, everything, because I think this is a phenomenal series. This, not that the last year wasn't, but the pilot is always, we're still in pilot phase, but the first,
Right.
that first one is always like where you get the kinks out and you kind of figure out what's what,
Yes.
and kind of really know what works versus what doesn't and what we need to do differently. So in comparison, right? You're comparing the first year to the second. Give me your thoughts, just being a part of the process.
Right. I definitely feel that, I don't know, just feeling a bit of excitement this second go around, being a little more familiar with the whole process, and just feeling encouraged by the scholars, how receptive they are to what's being presented to them. And little things like keeping cameras on, participating, filling out the surveys, and really trying to remain engaged in what's going on, because that's a lot of content or information that they're experiencing for that chunk of time. So I feel like they're doing really well, considering that, they're teenagers and it is a lot of information. But I'm just excited about the engagement because I feel like they are present. Not too much pulling has to go on from time to time. She has to remind them to, hey, you guys can unmic, you guys can answer questions. But I feel like it's a new topic. So maybe they're still trying to just gather their thoughts about how to answer these questions or how to connect experiences. But overall, I feel like it's going well. And I'm curious to see what their feedback is going to be towards the end, like when we're completed with the session, with their feedback is going to be on how we could, we always want to improve. So how to make things better for them.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I definitely agreed, with their level of participation this year. I think last year, though, was really good too. We have a slightly larger group this year, or maybe it was equivalent as far as numbers are concerned. But I think we have more assignments this year too, right? So they're actively engaged, not just in class, but even outside of class. They're expected to do a little bit more group wise outside of class. They're expected to, do a little bit more individually outside of class. And so I think that makes a difference because they're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like, so that for me is a telltale sign that they are enjoying it. And when they have questions, they reach out, they're asking about the assignments. Who do I send it to? Can I email it? So it really is, them putting their best foot forward too. And I second, what you're saying about that. And just, I think overall, I think, the experts make a difference too. The content makes a difference too, right? Like whether or not the kids are going to listen. And I think, it's not, and it may not even be the content, but the teacher. Sometimes it is, who's teaching the class that makes the difference. In my case, my whole entire presentation changed. Like I was looking at my presentation from last year and I was telling Leon, what the heck was I thinking? So I changed my entire presentation. I don't know if you noticed, but I changed my entire presentation. And this time, I took time with it. Like I was like, there's no way. I literally was winging it last year. You know what I'm saying? And we got through it. But like, no, like I gotta come correct. So, and I felt like there was, it was a difference this time. One of the young ladies who had referred one of her students from Louisville reached out and she sent me a screenshot. I sent it to you guys, and she was saying how she really thinks that travel and tourism, just everything about it, like she's really interested in it. And so, she's been coming faithfully since. So it does make a difference. And, just having the right people in place, I think, and being able to teach the content and be engaged, engaging with the kids makes a big difference too. So.
Right. Because, even if you're wonderful with in-person instruction, virtual instruction, it's like its own kind of beast that you have to get used to. You got to familiarize yourself with certain things and really having to leave room for that engagement. The engagement part is important, and for it to feel, to feel organic and not forced, or because I've been through that. I've been plenty of workshops where it's just like, oh, come on. I really don't feel like participating. Can we just keep it moving?
Yeah.
So I think that's also important too, having the right kind of call for participation, especially with the young adult.
Yeah. And I know that I feel like they really appreciated even Miss Anna the other day about Christian, she was like, I feel like he's so much more engaged this time. And that was coming, that's coming from another parent. So I was like, okay, all right, well, duly noted. Like I appreciate hearing that, because I make sure I take that back to our directors, who are doing a phenomenal job, by the way. So yeah. Anybody else have any thoughts, since you've been in for anyone who's sat in the classes?
I think it has been better with, as you and Chastity spoke on, like the kids participating, talking more, getting involved. Who really shocked me was Cece. And it was so much so that I had to text Miss C and be like, what's going on? And I was just so proud of her. Like, and I mean, it was like natural. It was no stuttering, she seemed nervous or anything. She was just talking. And she did tell me that she's been working on herself and trying to be better about speaking publicly and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, it really shows, so it's been great. I've been enjoying the classes myself. So
yeah, and I feel like I learned something every time. So That's, that's another thing. But, all right. Well, and then,
Awesome. And
not
I
to
know
mention,
they're gonna truly enjoy when it's really hands-on and they're baking. So if they're
Mhm.
into it now, I know they're gonna be all pumped up when it's time to bake.
Right, right. And I was saying not only that, but all the stuff that they've learned so far, a lot of it is going, they're going to be able to apply. So
Mm,
in Jamaica, because we have like 4 of the students on the line who's going to Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
like this is firsthand knowledge. They get to learn, the educational portion of it. Now you got to put it into practice. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like this is really setting them up for success. Even Kavion, his mom was like, I need him to be a part of this course. Like I need for him to be a part of this course. So I just think that speaks volumes as well. But yeah, kudos guys. Like, I wish Dre was on so he could give us his take.
I
But
know. And I love how the classes are kind of intertwined with one another. So it doesn't seem
mhm,
like these are just these separate courses. It
yes,
feels like they're connected. One's like connected right into the next one. And I think
yeah.
that that's awesome that there's like this feel of connection within the session.
Right. It's like a story, like, you're telling a story. So you start with, that we started with hospitality and service, and then you kind of moved on, and you're gradually getting more, deeper and deeper into it. And then you're getting the hands on, and now you're going to apply, for some of them, they'll be able to apply. So yeah, it's like, like it's a buildup, um, to some serious end results, which again, for some of them will end in this internship. So yeah, I agree. All right. So speaking of our internship updates, really quickly, obviously Friday is it. Super excited for that. Like I mentioned, we ordered swag t-shirts and bags with with the leftover from the tour, and then we still have more, so we're gonna kind of try to keep it to where we can use it wherever it's needed, either for the internship or not. But uh so that as far as the work that they're going to be doing while they're out there, if there's a plethora of I sent you guys the meeting minutes, because I always send the meeting minutes from our meetings with the parents and the scholars, and in the meeting minutes I gave a breakdown of all the different areas that they'll be working in, and some of them will be working with these local businesses with their marketing, helping their marketing campaign. So JR, like, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight, because as part of the initiative for us to do this Young Boss, and you guys saw the flyer for that, right? The Young Boss entrepreneurial workshop, where our kids are essentially going to be leading this series or this workshop, but they want us to kind of have like some content to go with it. So I spoke with Toya, and I was telling her that I think that I want to use some of the content from certain classes, because that's the information that we're going to be really covering. So one would be her class, like with the presentations. The other would be, I think we talked about business writing. I think in the proposal I proposed talking a little bit, touching on rather, business writing, certainly resume building, and then also just kind of like the fundamentals of business and entrepreneurship, which I figured we could use JR and or Rainey's presentation. More likely probably JR's, because I think JR's his goal is more at the foundational level, where we're talking about the mission, the vision, the value statements, and the objectives, your goals, all that stuff. So that's really like at the very beginning when you're building your business plan. And so that's a huge thing for us, right? Like they want us to come and do a stinking 2-day workshop. So like, and our kids are going to be running it. They wanted us to do it. But for me, I was like, I don't want to, like, we'll facilitate and we'll help out. And so Miss C, like her presentation, or Kiana, I got to talk to Kiana to make sure she's okay with it. But if she's okay with it, then Miss C will I'll have her lead, with the presentation. But I also want the students to be very much involved, the scholars. And we're kind of just going to be like we'll be there to help support them with whatever questions they have. But yeah, they're ready. Cece was actually one of the ones who said she wanted to do this portion of the internship. Now they're all gonna have, they're all gonna be involved, but not all of them will be presenting. So we'll have sort of like our breakout sessions. So how we do breakout rooms, we'll just have breakout sessions in the library. We're going to have mentoring time. We're going to have, hands-on time for them to kind of work through what it is that they want to do as entrepreneurs, putting in their, writing down their vision, writing down their mission, doing all that, and then presenting it. And then on the second day, they'll have to come up with their resume. They'll have to come up with, maybe like a short presentation and a business, like the first sort of draft of the business plan. Like I mentioned, the main sort of components of, that first part of the business plan, the vision, the mission, the goals, objectives, stuff like that. Really, those are the only things I'm going to ask of them. They can kind of continue to work on the stuff as they go along, but those are the things that'll help to, help them, understand what it is that they want to do, right? And to also help others, right? Who, they're looking to pitch their businesses to, right? They got to have all that information. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Sounds fantastic to me. I mean, it sounds like an internship, like right on, spot on with them being able to mentor and coach and put into practice, as well as advise, and pass on information learned. It definitely leans into the leadership aspect of business and entrepreneurship. And I think it's great to show that model, that out of our programs, we produce leaders, who could mentor and guide other students. So I think it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And this is what we really are working this hard to accomplish, right? We don't want to just have them sit on the information that's been provided to them, right? We want to be able to see what they've done with it. And some of them, I was like, listen, you're gonna have to go back to these videos and you're gonna have to review these videos. So if if it's been a while, like some of them, Tyrese, for one, we have Malachi, another one, they took our our business and entrepreneurship a little bit earlier on. Andrew is another one, even Cece. I said, all of y'all gonna have to learn, or at least familiarize yourselves with this information. And so that's what I've tasked them with. Like, you guys gotta, if you don't remember or recall, I said, and a lot of information has changed, right? So you guys are gonna have to do your due diligence and you're gonna have to review the videos. And, if you have any questions. So I told the parents, I was like, this is a part of the requirement. They have to review these videos. If they haven't already like recently completed the series where they kind of recall it, and even then, I think that it would still, I think it would still benefit them to go back and just kind of review, you know what I mean? Just overview, like, of what, or not overview, but like just a preview of what, not a preview. What am I trying to say? A recap, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Of what they've already learned. You know what I'm saying? It's just really,
I was saying overview.
Yeah, well, just a recap. Like they just got it, they just learned it. So it's really just them going back and kind of a refresher. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm sorry. Thank you. Refresher. Yes. For what was already covered. Oh, you already had one. Put that down. So yeah. And then on top of that, they'll be doing that. So that'll be the first and the third day there. So the first day, that's our, well, not the first day. So the first day is Friday. So our first official day on, working will be Saturday. And then Sunday we'll be touring the resort because they'll also be working on the resort in different capacities. So on Sunday, we'll have like the tour of the resort and do all that. And then on Monday will be the part 2 of the series. And so Miss C and I will be working on that Tiana, you're more than welcome. You know, everybody's going to be there for it. It's just, like I said, it'll, you know, not everybody will be presenting. So Missy and I, we met up and we had, you know, we kind of discussed what we wanted to, how we wanted it to flow. And I asked her to kind of take the lead on it and to kind of just, you know, provide oversight. And I'll be there, obviously, you know, but I asked her to kind of take the lead on this. She'll be serving as our floating chaperone, right? So she won't have anyone assigned to her per se, but she'll be kind of serving as the floating chaperone, just, you know, with everything, with her condition and stuff. We want to make sure that it's not too taxing for her to be able to do some of the stuff, you know, that we're going to be doing. So, and then, you know, they'll be working in the hotel resort, you know, just doing everything. We're going to have our own private chef. So the gentleman who he owns the tour company with the bus that, or rather the tour bus that's going to be providing the transportation for us. He also has his own restaurant business or his own catering business, and he's looking to open up a restaurant. So that's where he's going to need help with his marketing and building of his website and stuff. But he's also he's going to have one of his staff chefs on site for us to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the first 5 days. The second 6 days will actually be when we move to the second resort. That's an all-inclusive resort, and that's a little bit further down the road on the 7 Mile Strip. And it literally is right on the beach. Like the backyard is the beach, literally. Whereas the other one, you're overlooking, like we're on a cliff, and so you're kind of overlooking the ocean. But the beach is like further down, and there's caves and stuff like that. So JR, you might be familiar with that side, but yeah, it's either like both sides is phenomenal. So
Nope.
yeah.
I've never been in a grill, actually. I only, you know,
What?
besides our trips on, you know, for me and Toya traveling, I'm usually in the country and stuff. So.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. You know, it's so crazy how you can have people come from out of the country and be places in where you live and you've never been. Like, I've never been to the Statue of Liberty. And I've had people friends who have come from all different parts of the world, different parts of, you know, the United States, and have been to the Statue of Liberty, and I have never. So I can't say that's too far-fetched. But yeah, so it's exciting. It's exciting. It is going to be a very, very busy time. Because on top of it being, so the first week is Dream Week, and then the second week is your Jamaican Independence. So JR, what exactly? I kind of did a little bit of research on it. But I forgot.
Jamaica was a British colony. Jamaica was a British colony.
Right, and that's where they got their independence.
For a while, yeah. So they got their independence from them.
Okay.
Which probably would have been better off staying a colony, but anyway.
Really?
Economic wise and country wise and everything, yeah, probably.
Oh, okay.
It's like Puerto Rico in the US. They better off just staying where they are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm really excited. This is the first of many opportunities for us. You know, the fact that we, over just a few months, you know, we had this conversation in March. I think was the first time we had this conversation with Christine when she joined us on one of our calls. And from March to July, that's 4 months, guys. We've accomplished all of this in
4 months and $20,000 later.
No, 20. We're almost at 30 grand. That what we've raised.
20,000 plus.
Right. Yeah. So like, that is amazing. That is amazing. And the kids are excited. The parents are excited. I think the parents are more anxious. And I mean anxious in a good way. I don't mean anxious in a bad way. Like, they're all super stoked about this trip. They really are. I feel like the parents are more excited than the kids. You're not done. Eat your rice. Eat your rice. Sit down. Yeah, they're more excited even, I feel like, than the kids are. But you know, they're, and I love it. I think it's great. So, anything I'm missing, Tiana? Because I know I cover everything in our meetings, but
I'm sorry, I couldn't seem to hit mute, unmute. No,
I was
I
just saying,
think
is there
that's,
anything I'm missing?
no, I'm just really now coming down to the wire and, you know, trying to finalize some of the plans to, you know, for Friday. We have another meeting on Wednesday.
Yeah, and that's our final meeting.
Mhm.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So, and then we have class on Thursday. So I was telling some of the parents, I was like, you know, we're gonna have to figure out a way, you know, even if they all hop into one room and sit around one laptop. I have my laptop. We are also going to be donating laptops to the library, and as well as to whoever the person with the best pitch is. Melissa has donated, I want to say 20 laptops to us. And of those 20, I think we were given half to Christine's group, and then the other half we're bringing down to Jamaica with us. And so we're going to be able to donate laptops with them, and we're donating laptops to our scholars who need laptops as well. So we're doing a lot, y'all. Like we really.
Oh yes, awesome.
Yeah, we're doing a lot, and it's you know, it's really just to see all the things that are happening, to see all that we're able to provide, and that, you know, the collaborating that we're doing, and the networking that we're doing, and the, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, partnerships, you know, that are being built through this. I think it's phenomenal. So that's it. It's you know, there's a lot. It's a lot, and it's a lot of work. My goodness, it's a lot of work. You know, just trying to stay up with all these meetings. You know, trying to make sure the dollars and the cent, you know, the dollars make sense. You know, the numbers make sense. You know, making sure everything is copacetic as far as the resorts, making sure it's, you know, up to our liking, because when we first went down there for our trip, Leon and I, obviously, I got sick, but you know, we made it, and we got to see the first resort. The grounds were beautiful, like, I mean, breathtaking. But the rooms, and you know, to their, in their, I don't want to even say in their defense, because you know, you're at the end of the day, you're still a business, so you got to kind of account for that yourself. But you know, they had just had a huge wedding party that came through, and like they took up all the rooms on the entire resort. Now remember, these are smaller, you know, more mom and pop type style resorts, and so they're not, you know, they only have, I'd say, maybe like 30 to 35 rooms on the entire resort. So you can reserve like all those rooms, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what, you know, this party did, and they left it in a mess. I mean, they left it in a mess. And I was like, well, y'all could have called us and told us not to come, because this first impression was not a good one. And I expressed that. I was like,
Exactly.
huh?
No, I said exactly.
You're breaking up, babe.
No, I said exactly. I said you're right. I said
Oh,
that it wasn't a good impression. You know, and we even questioned even still using that particular facility, but
yeah.
I thought it was just a good idea, because I said, you know, it's you know, the idea of any place outside of America, you get excited, you know, and pictures you see all of the, like, the great things, which is Jamaica's a beautiful island. A lot of islands are beautiful, but they also, I think the kids need to know that, you know, it's also like it's a third world country, and there's some areas that may not be the best, you know what I mean? And you gotta like learn how to
Mm-hmm.
appreciate what you have. But the grounds, like Rosie says, it's beautiful. Like, if you see the scenery, is like amazing, like
Yeah.
walking through and where the pool is at, where everything else is at. But you know, it
Hello? Hello?
hello,
Yeah.
hello.
We just heard it, and that was it. You broke up.
Oh, my phone just kicked me out. It just kicked me out of the Zoom.
Oh,
Okay. Anyways, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But yeah, I mean, it's both resorts are going to be great for
yeah,
the chaperone.
yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think, with what we've expressed, and the fact that he knows, the manager of the resort is well aware, like we've had conversations since. And then we've also sent the guy who is our transportation, like he has very close ties with the manager, which is how we got onto that resort. He's been going back and forth, and he's actually the chef. So he's making sure that everything is good to go. And he called me the other day and was just like, everything looks good. Like, you guys, your rooms are all on one floor, like or in one building, like you guys will all be together, like, no worries. And so it's just the little things we gotta, you know, just gotta be mindful of. So, but I agree, like with what Leon was saying, as far as just, when I was just like, I was done. I was like, we gonna find something else. And again, it wasn't because of anything with the grounds, and like, I just felt like it just, it could have been managed a little bit better, like that, whoever did what, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all needed to be finding them, like something, because they really did a number, in a lot of the rooms, the stains and the all kind of stuff they left behind, and all the trash behind the building. It was a mess. And I was like, so I couldn't get past that. But Leon was like, we gotta, we just gotta, trust that, we express our concerns and let them know what we're looking for. But I also think because of the busy week, and it being a high tourist area during that time, I think they're going to have to be, I know they're going to have to be on their P's and Q's, and they're going to have to make sure that they, they monitor stuff like that even more. So, yeah, so that's that. So I'll keep, obviously we're gonna keep you guys posted. We're gonna be taking pictures. Donna is already ready to start putting together videos and all kind of stuff. Donna's been doing a phenomenal job. Her and Ellen, with the content. Obviously you guys have been seeing it. We did our last 2 interviews. I finally got Andrew, the interview in with Andrew, as well as Christian, who is, he's one of our newer scholars who's joining with us. And his mother insisted, she was like, I will pay. I would love him to go. And, I was just like, what, I hadn't considered him for the business and entrepreneurship, right? Because, he was in it, but he wasn't. But the hospitality and travel, he certainly was. I said, but the catch for that is that he has to join the course over again, and he has to take it over. And so she was like, cool, like, whatever. So, I say if he really wants to participate and he really wants to go, then he's gonna have to take the class serious. And I think he's done that. So, and she's also made an additional donation. So that's that. But I also been making a lot of calls and stuff, trying to get additional donations, which we have. I've been, working with Denise, and she's been working with a lot of her her connections to get us some additional monies in, to where, I shared a lot of that with you guys. You've seen them come through in our accounts and stuff like that. So we have one more that I'm waiting on from Mikey. I did get a chance to talk with him and explain to him what we're doing. He agreed to sponsor one of our scholars. And so I'm just waiting for him. I reached out to him today again, just to kind of give him all the information. I shared a couple of the videos with him. And I'm just waiting for him to, make his payment. And I will be reaching out to him again. I texted him earlier and sent him the information. So that's that. And I think, as far as donations, like, we're still collecting, up until the very last date, we're still collecting. So, and what we ended up doing, what I decided to do was, because since the shop was in Titan, with the exception of myself and Tiana, no one else had really raised, any funds. And so, to kind of help offset the cost, everybody was responsible for paying for their own tickets, their flight. The resort and everything else would be covered, but they'd be responsible for paying for their flights. And then also, any additional like extracurricular stuff that we do, obviously they're gonna pay for that. So like the excursion that we're looking to go on and stuff, those things, that'll be something that will be at the expense of each of the chaperones. Unless obviously you raise enough money to be able to do that, which none of our chaperones, none of there's 5 of us, Tiana and me, were excluded, but the others, they are aware. So, and the others being Cece's mom and dad, and then Roberto's dad. So those are the other 3 additional chaperones. We're good with chaperones. We got 9 scholars. So the ratio, really is, like 2 to 1 plus. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have 3. Yeah, it's really like 2 to 1. So that's that. Any questions?
If you guys can, do you have rechargeable batteries for your phones, like external battery packs to carry with you?
Yeah, and it's also on the we created a like a not a to-do list, but what is it called? Like a travel list of things that they that everybody wants, everybody should have, how they should pack, what they should make sure to bring with them, what they should consider as far as even just alert, allergies, special dietary needs, which, listen, don't come with a whole lot because you're gonna be paying for everything. So, yeah, we had a whole list of stuff. And thank God, I think for the most part, the only one who does have any real allergies is Chris, and he has an EpiPen, so, and he knows what he can and can't eat. And I don't think that's, the food anyway is going to be a problem. Yeah. Any other thoughts, JR? Because this is home for you. So any suggestions, recommendations, thoughts? The
only thought I had was when I said on Sunday about planning to exchange some money in the airport, maybe like at least $200, $100 or whatever, to do the currency exchange. So you have that when you go off the resort, or when you're out in town and stuff like that, you have Jamaican currency to use.
Right.
So you don't pay. So you're not overpaying. Whatever.
Right. And you're suggesting that we do that when we get there, right? Because you could do that here at the banks, right? But I think it's a charge or something. Like, what's the difference between doing
Leon
it
or somebody was saying you could do it. No, Lee was saying you could do it in the States, but I don't know how much time it takes the bank to get the bills for the said country. I guess if they have it, it's quick or whatever. The rates change every day.
3 days.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
all right, but there you could just get it, like you just do one hand to hand.
Yeah, when you're in the airport, there will be a currency exchange location where you could exchange your currency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'll make sure to make mention of that too. Don't let me forget that. During our last call, because they were asking about the money and how much they should bring, to which I told them I don't think that they should bring a whole lot. And I'm not being held responsible for anybody's cash going missing or anybody losing or dropping anything. Like, you lose it, that's it, So yeah, we'll definitely make mention of that as well. All right. I mean, that's pretty much that's it. I'm really kind of, I'm giving you guys the really, really watered down version. There's a whole lot, and the parents had a lot of questions. All good, valid stuff. Huh? Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, all good, valid stuff. So we're ready. We're ready. We have everything in place. We're gonna transport the New Jersey scholars, anyone who lives in and around the area. Everybody's gonna meet at my house, our house, and we're gonna, come together. Ride together to the airport, and then we have a couple of parents riding together from New York, and so it's a group trip. Group travel? Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna schedule a pickup at in Jamaica for you guys from the airport? The transportation guys meeting you there?
Yeah, yeah. So we have the transportation from the time we touch down until the time is, from arrival to departure, like basically. So from the time we get there to the time that, we return, we'll have them for the entire 11 days that we're there. So
Nice.
the only thing about it is that, and which I was like, yes, like I don't even want it any other way. The only thing is that if we, we'll have to travel as an entire group, or at least the majority. Like if we, somebody doesn't want to go or whatever, but to go somewhere, like they're not just going to take one individual to Popeyes, because they do have, and that's what they mentioned too, like they have other restaurants off site, if our kids are just like, too Americanized and they just don't want the food, whatever, although they are aware that it is going to be out of pocket for them, that they have alternatives, and they have Popeyes, they have Chick-fil-A, they have Pizza Hut. JR, I'm sure and I heard their Kentucky Fried Chicken is almost like eating homemade fried chicken.
I was gonna say the only thing I heard about was the KFC, but I actually never eaten fast food down there. Like,
oh, okay.
Either on the resort or at somebody's house. But
Okay.
Yeah, I had
mean,
to stand on that line for KFC.
Really?
I had to wait at least 30 minutes. The line was outside
Wow.
the store. It was just like, what kind of chicken is this? But it was good.
Was it good though?
It was good though. It was.
Was it worth it?
I guess so.
Yeah. You don't sound convincing. I mean, the way they talk, they was like, yeah, like the Jamaican chicken, Jamaican Kentucky Fried Chicken is like the best in the world.
Different. Yeah. It was good. It was good.
Okay.
It was pretty long. It was pretty long, the wait.
Yeah, I don't know about no wait like that though. I ain't got the patience. But like I said, like we can venture out maybe once, what I'm saying, once or whatever, but I don't want to make it, something that we're doing every day. Like we've already paid for this, you know what I'm saying? So Naya, will you stop using the spoon we have to wash? Give me that. Go get a plastic.
especially like the all-inclusive place.
Yeah. So but the fact that we're getting like homemade style food, did y'all see them? Well, I know JR you did, but like, y'all saw the menu. Like it's gonna be some serious, I asked him for some like continental breakfast style, something not too heavy, not too, not too much, but something that we can kind of just,
Some
we can
yam,
all
some yam and dumpling.
No,
some ackee and
no.
saltfish.
No, none of that.
No?
None of the above.
What?
Eggs, bacon, toast,
You
porridge. I even
serious?
take the porridge. Yes, I love me some porridge now.
I thought the goal was to have some Jamaican food.
Yeah, not. I mean, that is probably, he's probably gonna put a little something in there, but that, for lunch and dinner,
they're gonna have to experience Jamaican breakfast at least once.
I don't. Too. Give me KFC.
Rosie,
I know.
Start.
You serious?
Yeah,
No, all
tired
you
of
Jamaica talk about no
Spanish
thank you.
food.
Yes, I was about to say Chastity already knows I'm very picky, but
we were in Puerto Rico, and she said, "I am tired of Spanish food." We said, "Rosie, we're in Puerto Rico."
Listen, you live and you learn. You get over it.
Disrespectful, yo.
I know, but whatever. I mean, it's a part of my culture, part of my heritage. It's in my blood.
It's
So
all right.
whatever. I can say that.
Okay.
Right. I was sick of it though. I just wanted to break it in eggs. That was it. Yeah, so that's it. Like we, everything that we're gonna get to experience, everything is gonna be, in town. We're not in a commercial resort by far, but it's still a business, right? They are still operating in a business. So it's not like we're gonna be in some little shack, like that wasn't gonna happen. But it's not your Secrets Resort or your Sandals Resort. It is very
right, but I think
smaller.
It's suitable for the teenagers.
Yeah.
When they get their coins together, they can go to Secret.
Right.
It's going to be an experience they're going to remember.
Yeah.
To this day,
I
you
think
talk
so.
about your experience. Although it was a little different. But I think just getting out the country and being able to have this experience within itself is going to be worth it.
Yeah. It was different, but it was still the same, like as far as I was able to go to a totally different country to work in a hotel in the resorts and it was the same thing. It was like it was a locally owned resort where the beach
Oh,
was
okay,
right in the
yeah. I thought it
valley.
was a little more high end, but no, so it
No,
was the
no,
same
no.
experience. Okay, good,
Yeah,
good, good, good. See, and to this
yeah,
day,
Are
you
they
still
gonna
talk
be
about it.
right,
connecting
exactly.
with youth there, Rosie?
Yeah, that's at the library when they do the 2-day peer-to-peer.
I missed that part. Okay, dope.
Yeah, you did.
They'll love
That's
that.
okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're gonna, they're running that. I mean, obviously we'll be overseeing it, but they'll be the one, doing a lot of this. So, as a matter of fact, I got to send them. Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. So, JR or Toya, do you guys have anything that you would maybe want to tweak in your presentation to make it user or more sort of presentation friendly for them? Or should I just send them what you have for your presentations?
My, oh, you could just make a copy for them in Google, and they could do whatever, make edits.
No, I don't want them doing whatever with it though, because it's what they've learned from what we've taught, not something that they're gonna like. They can add their stuff, but they're not gonna manipulate our presentations. I'm asking if there's anything on you guys want to kind of tweak to make it a little bit more youth friendly for them to be able to then convey to their peers. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to what you have, like.
Well, I meant like even notes, like if they want to add their own notes, because they've
Oh,
been through the class, so it's the same. They've seen the slides, but if they wanted to be able to add like their own notes and their own words, kind of thing, you can make a copy and put it in a, just so they have it like a student copy
yeah.
kind of thing.
But I was just saying overall for the presentation itself. Like, is there? I mean, I get the notes and stuff, but I'm just
my
talking.
first class.
Yeah,
Like the very
because that's
first
the
class
class where you talk about the vision. That's the one I want. That presentation where you're talking about the vision statement. And I'm even thinking maybe taking out like your information and or even keeping your information in as the instructor, but maybe simplifying it. And I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything in there that we can that might need to be simplified so that it's again, it's a 4 hours each day. It's 8 hours total, but it's 4 hours each day, and then we have a couple of presentations to get through. So I'm wondering if to kind of just hone in on the main points.
How long is this portion where they're presenting the deck, or is the deck start you throughout the whole day kind of thing?
Yeah, it's throughout the whole day. So after each presentation, that we'll do like breakout and we'll kind of talk about it, and we'll do some have them do some sample writing and things like that or whatever. But yeah, I'm just thinking like, is there anything that you think you might want to kind of review? And I'll kind of need that, like if you do something like that, like you would have to either let me know so I could do it and get it to them, because I would need them to review it before we leave on Friday so they could be ready to present on Saturday.
Fundamentals is actually pretty basic. Like as a deck, the advanced one is the one that has a bunch of stuff in it.
Right. I'm not using the advanced, just the fundamentals.
You can look it over, but I feel it's already pretty basic. They could skip slides if they want to skip slides. But looking at it now, like
I was about to open
basic.
it up myself. Okay.
Because I don't go into any depth with anything. Just talk about what makes a business small versus big. We do an activity, talk about goods producing. Then we go into a vision statement, that stuff.
Okay. So if there's anything in what you're looking at right now, if you go through it and you see that everything's good, let me know. I'm going to download it into Google Docs. I'm going to share it out with the scholars, and the parents, and have them.
The only thing is,
look it over.
There's a document from Google Class that goes with it. It's the business outline. Like there's like 2 links from Google Class that I usually share with this presentation so that it goes hand in hand. So they could grab that.
Can you send me the links to that then? Yeah, if you could just send me those 2 links, that way I know exactly what I need to include. Um, and if it's already in the folder, you guys may have, I don't know if Toya put it in the folder already, but if it's already in the shared
The
folder.
deck is there, but the documents on Google Classroom, the fundamentals.
Okay. All right. And what about you, Toy? Do you have anything in your presentation that you feel like you might want to take out just to kind of, like I said, you know, simplify it a little bit for them?
I would say no. I kind of did what you did for H&T, what you were describing. So not this past series, but back last fall, I kind of scrapped some things, especially because of timing.
Right.
So I feel like the way that it is now is really the bones of communication.
Okay.
And although it is a part of advanced, it's the first time they're hearing certain aspects of like an oral presentation with a, you know, with a slide deck and anything like that. So I think that, yeah, off the top, nothing comes to mind. I guess I wanted to ask you logistically, I know mine has embedded YouTube videos.
Okay.
Is that like, you know, what the students are expecting to use, or are those slides possibly the ones you might want to hide? I wasn't sure if, you know, what they have access to.
I don't, and we're supposed to have Wi-Fi, but you know how that goes, right? So I'm trying to, what? I'm sorry. I'm trying to minimize any, you know, any unnecessary interruptions, or, you know what I'm saying? Like anything that's going to cause an interruption that we were like, sorry guys, technical difficulties. So if we don't have to use videos, I wouldn't. I mean, we can have it there. Like you know, if you send me the links for the videos, or you know, I can always have those videos separate and then, you know, maybe share it if they have internet. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of, I'm leery because they've been having issues with their internet and their connection and stuff lately. And she just, Christine was just telling me that. So I don't know how it's going to be with the videos, to be honest.
Okay, so I'll go in and double check and confirm, but I believe all the links to the videos are in the notes of the PowerPoint, but I'll double check.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. And if there's anything that you think, you know, we should try to share, I can.
Yeah, I was thinking about the presentation where Rajit, he does like a poor oral presentation and then his peers give him feedback. I think that video is really good because it kind of shows the, you know, the before and after, you know, of learning about what it takes to present a good oral presentation. So I think if anything, that would be the most valuable video.
Okay.
Like they don't need to see the office video.
Right.
The one that I play in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, although I kind of like that video, but you know, yeah. I'm glad you like it. Sorry, I made empanadas and I kind of, Lanai and I ain't gonna take the fall for that, but we made empanadas and they kind of came out a little was it Cajun side? They're good though once you get to the center of it. Just getting to the center, you know. Anyway, yeah, okay, Tori. So let me know what you know, what you what you think as far as your presentation. Once I get that from you and JR, you know, let me know if you guys need me to do anything. I can work on that. I was supposed to have a meeting tomorrow, but I just got a cancellation for it, so that's fine for me because now I can kind of spend time doing that. But yeah, I just,
I was saying my deck is good. On slide 12, there's hyperlinks to the business plan stuff and notes. So everything's there. And there's no videos in this one.
And it's pretty simple enough for us for our kids to follow along and be able to talk to it. And, you know, obviously after having looked at it and, you know, familiarize themselves with it.
Yeah, take a look. Let me know what you think. I mean, there's a slide over there talking about cameras on, mics off, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you want they can make a copy to add their own notes.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, I'm sorry. I'm trying to see what else we have. All right, so yeah, I think that's it. I'll send them the presentations to have them look it over, have Miss C look over them so she's familiar with it in the event that she needs to jump in. I know she's sat in on just about all the classes for most of the series so far. So I think she should be pretty familiar with it. So if there's anything, that I need from you guys, the best way we'll probably be communicating is through WhatsApp. So look out for that in the event that I have anything that, you might need from you guys, but I think that's good. Just really quickly, because I'm just looking at the time here, just an update for our vendor updates for the New York DOE. I got word from Derry that our vendor application has been approved and that we are just awaiting our vendor number. Y'all, we finna go global now. So it's really just a matter of her friend. She spoke with her friend, I think it was last week. And I'm supposed to reach out to her just to kind of touch base with her and find out when we can expect it or whatever. But that really puts us in a whole different ball game category, because now we're able to, we're marketable in terms of being able to put out our these contracts and and marketing our products, services. And the great thing about the DOE, or rather the program that I was introduced to by Lisa, who is Derry's friend, is that they have their own staff. And we can, like just say, we're not going to get rid of our evening classes, right? But let's just say we decide that we're going to incorporate our curriculum, with whatever program they have already in place, or something separate, but during a time frame that they already have set for this type of program, then they have instructors. If we can't all be there at in person, because that is a requirement, that at least majority of the instructors are in person. They do have the hybrid option, but they really prefer that the people are in person. So they were just saying that they do have the staff already available, so we don't have to hire external people or hire an additional staff or whatever, but that we can, basically we would train it's like a train the trainer. We train them, teach them the curriculum, everything in whatever we present in our budget is basically what they would pay us. They would pay the instructors, we would pay our people, as far as just like, and I got to get I got to kind of work out the details for that, but we would have a budget to work with, and they would pay us, so basically we draw up a contract, they pay us what we're asking, or negotiate, but then they would provide us with the staff, and the resources and everything. They're just happy that they don't have to come up with the curriculum. They don't have to come up with the material. They don't have to come up, they'll help us. They'll give us the resources. They'll give us everything. Like she was like, we'll do everything. Like you don't have to do anything but come and teach the classes, or, facilitate and, have our instructors or our teachers, who are coming in for the summer, have them teach it. And you guys still get paid because it's your curriculum. And so I was like, yeah, that works. So if anyone is free to ever teach a class, that's even better, right? Because it's, most of all of this is our own material. So who better to teach it than you? But if you're unable to, then they have staff on hand for them to do that. And then collaboration with, so Dre and I were talking because obviously, we are now in, we are, oh gosh, I'm sorry. We're established in Texas, right? And so, we're eligible to apply for grants in Texas. We're eligible to, to request certain funding support in Texas. we're also eligible to do business now in Texas in whatever capacity that, you know, that may take on. And so one of the instructors for the H&T, Chef Roberson, he was so impressed with how we run, you know, how we run our operations and how we do what we do, that he wants to get on board with it. Not necessarily in the capacity of like being a board member or anything like that, but he wants to be able to collaborate with us and bring S.O.A.R to, you know, help us bring S.O.A.R there. And so Dre, you know, we've been talking about doing some sort of collaboration and doing a kickoff event in Texas and calling it like Let's S.O.A.R Texas. And so basically that would kind of be our tagline. Like that would be, you know, our thing, like Let's S.O.A.R New York, Let's S.O.A.R New Jersey, wherever we're registered, it would be Let's S.O.A.R, you know, whatever that state is. And that was something I had, you know, kind of envisioned a long time ago. When we first came up with the Let's S.O.A.R, and then I was talking to my sister and I was just like, you know, that would be so dope if we just had every state had their own, you know, state representation at the end of Let's S.O.A.R. So that's that. And then obviously we have the upcoming events. So obviously our summer internship, we talked about that. We have the National Night Out. So, you know, I won't be there for that, unfortunately. Normally, last 2 years I've been there. Tiana's been there. She won't be here. So if anyone is available and would like to stand in for us and set up a table at the National Night Out, it's not, you know, it's not required. But, you know, if you're interested in doing so, you're more than welcome to. You just, you know, let me know. And then obviously I Rock the Block. That's the next big ticket item on our agenda after this internship. And so we've already been putting out advertisement for it. We've been promoting it. You know, the applications are, you know, online on our websites for people to sign up to become vendors and volunteers. I don't know if you guys saw, but we have a couple of, you know, scholars who've already volunteered, or students, you know, local students from here who participated in the summer trip who want to volunteer for the Rock the Block. So just some of the things to note, some of the things that, you know, we obviously, you know, we work on to make sure that we have the best experience ever. I really would love for this to be our best Rock the Block yet, our biggest yet. Obviously every year it gets better and better. And so I want to continue with that. So these just, you know, some things for us to note. You know, so while I am full-time now, I think, you know, I always say, you know, it's great to have all hands on deck so that things can be done a little bit more efficiently. It is hard trying to do everything all at once. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, it's hard. And I do it, you know what I'm saying, or I try, you know, wherever I can, but it does make a difference when we have, you know, the support, especially when we're in the planning phases of these things. So if, you know, if there's anything, you know, I know we talked about before trying to establish teams to facilitate certain events, you know, or like, you know, team leads to, you know, have these certain events put on. I don't know that we'll be able to do that before now. So I think everybody at this point should kind of just, you know, we all work together to get things done. Obviously, we're going to need some food, you know, so we could start putting out them letters and looking for different ShopRites. We know ShopRite donates, and if we do it now, we'll get it in time because they have a time frame that you have to submit requests in order for them to honor them. And we could do it at any ShopRite. You know, it's a chain, so it doesn't, you know, because I apply here in Roselle doesn't mean that you can't apply in Somerset or you can't apply in the, you know, in the Bronx or wherever. We can all apply in different places and get donations from there. BJ's is one. I think the only reason why we didn't get BJ's was because it was so close to the time. So I think timing is everything too. So if we can start earlier and if we can all really, you know, pitch in and, you know, kind of start earlier with solidifying some donations from these places, that would be great. If you need a letter, we have our letters already drafted up from, you know, from what we did last year. I know Tiana got her donation from Wegmans. I got ShopRite. I think Toya might even got a couple donations So, you know, if we could just work together to kind of help out with that, because it's right around the corner. Like we literally, once we come back from Florida, I mean from Georgia, Lord have mercy, from Jamaica, the following week we'll be in Florida. And then, you know, that's like towards the end of the month already. And then we have like one weekend before the Rock the Block. So I really, really, really don't, yeah, I know I'm huge on planning and trying to make sure we are getting these things together well in advance. We're right at July 20th. We're all, it's July 24th. So we have a little bit over a month, to get things kicked off. And then there's yes. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say for Rock the Block, I feel one big, like everything on the back end and vendor end and us has been working really, really well. The one thing, I guess the biggest opportunity I feel like is getting more residents present.
Yeah.
To really complete the circle, because we've had amazing vendors both years and music, everyone's there. So, just think about how can we get into the community to kind of activate attendance to come on this one day versus other events in Roselle, but to support S.O.A.R on this day for the community.
Put it in the freezer until you're done. Go get in the shower. Yes, I agree. But remember, it's not just limited to Roselle residents, although we do, like, I don't want the onus to be on me to be like, okay, well, it's Roselle residents, so that's the biggest problem. Because then that means that I'm, because I'm a Roselle resident, like I'm, having to like get these people to come. That's not the case. It's not just Roselle residents. It's open to anyone. Obviously, it's in Roselle, so yes, we would love for Roselle residents to come. But I don't want to just subject it to anyone in, just or rather limit it to our this small population of people, because we already know how that's been working for us. And that's not even just that's not even a Rock the Block thing. That's just a Roselle thing, where the people show when they want to show and they don't when they don't. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, we do what we can in terms of marketing and advertising and promoting and doing all that stuff. Like, I think we do a phenomenal job with that. It really is just, you can't, you can draw them to water, but you can't make them drink type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Just Roselle, but I don't know if like the council people could connect us with the neighboring towns, the Lindens, the Kearneys, Elizabeth, all the places where it's like, this is a 15-minute drive from this town over here, and they're having this event, kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's my, that's certainly something up my alley, where I'm going to be, rubbing shoulders with them, letting them know like, hey, like this is, our third year, like we really want to, make this a Grand Slam event. So we're going to need your help. Like I've already shared it with them. I shared this with them a couple of weeks ago, just so that it's on their calendar, because I feel like a lot of what we do overlaps with stuff that they're doing. And so I'm like, nah, we got to work together so that so that everybody can participate, and we can all support each other. So that's the conversation I've been having with Denise. And then she relays it because she's kind of like the right hand to the mayor. You know what I'm saying? So she relays it to him, but you ask me, Denise is the mayor. He's more, he wears the hat, but she runs the show. So, she's the one I talk to. And it, I'll definitely continue to do that. But I've been doing that as well. So but I feel like we should all just, share it with your communities too. Like share it, all the way from Long Island on down. Share it. You know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised at who will come and who will support, and who wants to come out and just do something on a weekend like that. So let's just do our part to push it, promote it. We've been posting flyers and stuff already. I don't know if any of you guys seen them. We've been posting videos. Not sure if you guys have seen those, but y'all could start reposting them. Y'all could start, just making your own post on it, or sending it out to your peoples or whatever. Jared, like how you do me with all these videos you send me on Instagram. So I'm just saying, but yeah, so let's, I think we all work together, we'll get it done. Some of the additional stuff that I'm thinking of doing this year is obviously along with the vendor opportunities, having games and a double Dutch contest. So which when I expressed that to one of the ladies yesterday, she was like, what? Like, yeah, I'll be there for that. Not what yesterday, Saturday, when I was at a community event, supporting them. I expressed that. I was like, yeah, I want to do a double Dutch, and and they were like, oh yeah, I'm down for that. Everybody loved double Dutch. It's old school. So people love come out and have that kind of fun, interactive engagement. And then there's an organization, not a bit, it's called Aardvark, Parties and Planning. And so they actually were there at this community, the church. They hosted the event. It's the church that actually gave us our second donation, the $1,500 donation that they had given us. And they hosted a community event. It was free to the public and all that. And so I took Lanaya down, and it was really, really nice. But oh gosh, they got this company to come out, and this company had games. It was almost like a carnival setup. They had like a carnival setup of like 5 different games that the kids could play, and they win prizes. They had the balloonist, they had the face painting, and they had the bouncy house, and it was a package. And so they rented it for 4 hours. So I'm gonna see what what I can find out with that company, and see if there's something that we can work out, because doing it individually, I know Naomi was doing the face painting last year. I'm just really trying to keep down the level of work, or rather the amount of work that we end up doing on the day of, right? We all want to enjoy. We're always doing the legwork when it comes to these events, and especially the day of. So I'm really trying to kind of minimize that a little bit, so that everybody gets to enjoy the day. And enjoy our hard work. So I'm gonna see. I'm just putting that out there, that I'm gonna see how much it would cost to use their services, because they offer so much. And then we can make an executive decision on whether or not we want to go with them. So yeah, like Rock the Block is coming up. So if we could start, pushing for that again, like I said, working out some donation requests. Like if you guys need a letter, if you need anything, to start putting them in for like ShopRites, and let's start putting them out there to the local businesses, because they'll donate, even if it's a $25 gift card. Like those add up. You know what I'm saying? They'll donate. It's just you got to do it in a certain time frame, and right now would be the time frame. Most of them you have to do it like 4 weeks out, or whatever. So we're kind of like right at that mark. So we do it now, then we should be good to get something approved. So I'm really going to help, ask and kind of rely on you guys to jumpstart this while, we are away, at least, for these first 2 weeks. If you guys can at least start working on that, the rest of the team, and just kind of report back and let us know what you've been able to accomplish, what you've been able, who you've been able to reach out to in terms of donations, what help you might need. Obviously, we're still reachable out in Jamaica. We might be doing, a whole lot of legwork out there. But I am asking if you guys can, we can divide and conquer.
Speaking of being out in Jamaica, Rosie,
yeah,
good idea to get on your WhatsApp. Let everybody that, I don't know, wants to be in touch with us to be on WhatsApp, so that way you're not paying any additional carrier fees for text messages and stuff.
Yeah, you didn't hear that part earlier? I said we're gonna be on WhatsApp. Everybody's on WhatsApp already. That's how we communicate. So we started out on WhatsApp. Tiana set up the internship WhatsApp group, so that has all the parents on it. So that's how we communicate on a daily basis of anything that's going on. Anyway, so yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to be added to that, Tiana can add you guys to it. Just but some of the stuff is really just specific,
And then
to the parents
outside of that, contact your phone company still to let them know you're traveling and give you maybe the international plan. Jaden, stop. So your rates don't go up crazy, because your smartphone's going to start downloading as soon as you land, and it'll add up really fast. So if you plan it with them, you should be able to do like a $10 international plan for that trip, so you don't have the international charges.
Why would they charge you though if you're using WhatsApp? I've never gotten charged.
Oh, just make sure
Yeah,
everybody turns off their cellular.
Oh, the cell phone. Yeah,
data.
yeah. So mine
Because if your
did
cell data is still
automatically.
on, then
Yeah, I think Leon's didn't. Mine did automatically. His didn't. So yeah, that's a good point. I'll definitely, huh? You're not on. Are you on? I can hear you.
this is my
Leon was
topic.
talking, but he's not.
That's mine.
It's not yours.
That's mine.
No, I was saying that no, you're right, because my cellular didn't update and my bill went up about $25 I had to pay just recently.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you didn't have to pay. You say you didn't have to pay it? You did have to pay? 25? Why?
Because if he wasn't
Also,
on airplane mode,
I received phone calls. I was getting phone calls, and what I did
Yeah.
was I thought I was calling 1-800 numbers, and even though it was telling me that I'm gonna get possibly charged, it was still charging me for each call. And I made off there. So
Oh, yeah. So they gotta
Just be
know not to
careful.
make it unless it's WhatsApp. Yeah.
Well, the best way
Yeah.
to put your phone in airplane mode and only turn on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
Okay.
If your cellular data is on, then apps could be downloaded in the background. Stuff could be happening that you're not doing on the surface, but the phone is still pulling. So then they'll charge
Okay.
you roaming.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely make mention of that. I didn't have that issue, but I know Leon did, so we'll definitely make mention of it. The basketball tournament, yes, Toy, I agree. The basketball tournament was very well received, so that's something. I think JR, that was you and Leon or your idea. I think we'll
That was me.
definitely bring that back. Yeah, definitely bring that back.
Is Mayor Shaw gonna do it again?
Well, hopefully he better be there. Yeah, so yeah, we even got some of those clips in the videos, the promotional videos and stuff. So the teasers is what we call it. So yeah, Donna and Ellen been working, hard. I think they're like in the middle of a typhoon right now, so they've, not really been accessible, but yeah, so that's that. So let's start planning. Toya, Chastity, if you guys could kind of take the lead on that, on just kind of, maybe planning, putting some things on the action board, or, I think we did that last year where you guys, or we kind of, worked together and divided and conquered, like who was going to be doing what. We could do that this year. That would be great. Really, really, really appreciate that. And then whatever y'all need from me, obviously I'm gonna work my angle, as I have been. So, but if you guys could just, help with that, especially while we're gone. I think that's the biggest thing, because there's gonna be the 2-week time that we're gone. Then I'm, back for 2 days, and then we're gone again. And, so I really would love for us to, stay on top of it so that we don't skip a beat, and, we're doing our part. We always get it together. I just don't want anything to fall behind because of all the various things that we're doing all at once, which feels like that's every year, but it is what it is. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Anything else, you guys? That's pretty much it. I know we talked about going over these budgets. I know Leon had actually created an Excel spreadsheet with all of you want to talk a little bit, just like really briefly? I know we started kind of late, but the Excel spreadsheets that you created for the budgets for each of the months. And we don't have to go through it tonight because we don't have the time, but maybe the next meeting definitely we definitely got to cover the financials.
yes, we'll cover it next month. I'm just continue updating the record. So I had a little break from school, so I'm gonna do a little bit catching up. I want to finish completing the rest of the months. I think I have like 3 or 4 months to go. So I'm just gonna complete it. I should have it ready for next month for us.
Awesome. All right, cool. All right, that's it, everybody. And we're just ending at 8:30, so that's dope. We got a little bit of a late start, so that's great. Can y'all bring back some Blue Mountain coffee beans from Jamaica? Sure. Where they sell that at? I only like Wawa coffee, so you got to give me some.
Boy, if you don't taste their Blue Mountain coffee out there,
Look,
Jamaican coffee. It's good. It should,
yeah,
it
well,
should be everywhere in their store. It should be. It should be in their store.
okay, all right, let's see. We'll see.
Sometimes they serve it in the resort too, like the resorts that they
Yeah.
have. That's what they offer.
Yeah, but she wants like a bag of it.
A bag.
Yeah.
Oh
Extra-
yeah,
Extra
probably in the
see
gift
where a
shop.
good store would be.
Right. All right,
I
I'll
don't know
see
if
if
you
I
want to
can
buy it
find
in the
something.
airport, but there
Nah,
should be
I'll buy it
some
locally.
in town.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm sure and we'll be in town, so we'll definitely,
Oh yeah.
want to
Boo,
stop at a
boo.
store, get some local
Thank
stuff. Hmm. Yeah. Any other requests? Y'all just send them. Don't get crazy with it, but send me something y'all want. See what I can do.
I
Don't
want
get
Jamaican
crazy.
beef patty with cocoa bread. That's what I want.
Okay. Nice and stale when you come back.
Right.
Let me get some fresh ganja.
Yeah, we had some fresh, real quick, I'm
They
gonna say
going
some,
to jail.
what you say,
Going to
ganja?
jail.
You ain't going,
Yeah,
right?
this is a recorded line. Okay.
Right. Let's strike that from the recording. Please, Donna, do not record that part. Let me, speaking of, let's just